Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. A man allegedly trespassing at his ex-girlfriend's house in 29 Palms was arrested for investigation into possessing a concealed weapon and a warrant for fraud. On Sunday at 5:30 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to the 6000 block of Chia Avenue in 29 Palms after the resident called 911 to report that her ex-boyfriend was at the home without her permission. Deputies identified the ex-boyfriend as Kieran Abraham, 30, and say they found him to be in possession of a concealed weapon and that he was the subject of an outstanding warrant for fraud out of Whittier. They did not provide details about the weapon. Kieran Abraham was arrested on suspicion of possessing a concealed weapon and the warrant and was cited and released. Last night, the 29 Palms City Council gathered for a light agenda built around acknowledgments, fire prevention, and concerns about the Tourism Business Improvement District. Reporter Heather Clisby was there.
The 29 Palms City Council met last night with no big pressing issues, though they did hear from residents and stakeholders who expressed dismay with the Tourism Business Improvement District. But first, the council heard a presentation from the city's Parks and Recreation Department regarding a grant recently received by the National Recreation and Park Association Gender Equity and Sports Community of Practice. The city partnered with Girls on the Run of Inland Empire and is just one out of 10 park programs nationwide to receive the grant. Sponsored by Nike, the department will use the $20,000 to create a local summer camp. San Bernardino County Fire Department Chief Bill Villarino presented on fire prevention. Just 2 months out from the devastating fires in Los Angeles, Villarino addressed a hard lesson learned: the need for backup engines. Also, how drones are being used to tackle certain calls that otherwise tie up staff and equipment. He strongly urged homeowners to clear any vegetation and combustibles within 5 feet of the structure, which includes parked boats and RVs. During public comments, residents celebrated the Flying Doctor's recent visit to the region, voiced concerns about road maintenance and repair, but mostly it was complaints around TBID. Resident Eric Menendez advised council to not grant $25,000 to TBID for another report from tourism consulting firm Civitas because, quote, nothing has changed since they issued the last report 3 years ago. Property owner Susan Peplau opined that TBID does not communicate with stakeholders and asked council to hold them accountable to their marketing goals. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
The town of Yucca Valley saw a slight increase in population during the year of 2024. Here is Adeline J. Wells with that and more from last night's Planning Commission meeting.
The Yucca Valley Planning Commission meeting began with a landscape and irrigation review for an upcoming residential development. In October, the Commission considered the preliminary landscape plan for a 4-unit, multifamily project on Palo Alto Avenue, requesting that the final plan be returned for review. It was approved without issue. The Commission then considered an amendment to a site plan review for an upcoming development in Old Town. The Planning Commission approved the application for a retail and collective space located at 7344 Wamego Trail in December. The applicant would like to add the installation of a wood and corrugated metal fence to the existing plan. The Commission approved the amendment and spoke favorably to the appearance of the design. Town staff presented the General Plan Annual Housing Element Report for 2024. The town of Yucca Valley saw a 0.4% increase in population, and 47 single-family homes and 5 multifamily properties were built during fiscal year 2023-2024. This was followed by the Land Development Update. Circle K has formally submitted its application for a fuel station and convenience store at the northwest corner of Avalon Avenue and 29 Palms Highway, and the town is coordinating the CEQA review for Walmart's application for a fuel station as well. Both the commissioners and town staff commented on the current state of the Western Joshua Tree Conservation Act, following opposition from residents and the town of Yucca Valley related to the sewer connection project. Planner Jared Jerome noted that the Department of Fish and Wildlife has been made aware of the issue.
For what it's worth, Fish and Wildlife staff indicated that they plan to do outreach and come up with some ideas on addressing the sewer issue with both the town and the water district. They are aware of the hardship that the sewer program may potentially create for people.
Deputy Town Manager Shane Stuckel further commented that legislative action would need to occur to result in any major changes to the proposed act. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The Morongo Unified School District Board of Trustees met last night. Reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance and joins us with this recap.
The meeting began by honoring MUSD bus driver Vicky Dybert with a certificate of appreciation for her outstanding 35-year service. Bond Oversight Committee representatives John Cole and Jeff Brady gave their first report, mainly consisting of introductory establishment regarding the monitoring of Bond C funds. Cole and Brady mentioned the committee will meet at least 3 times a year with a separate meeting planned to discuss priorities since the new Board of Trustees was formed. Among other action items, the board approved authorization of the first of 3 issuances of the bond in an amount not to exceed $32 million. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources Stacy Smalling and MTA President Amber Hansen gave an update of the MTA Sunshine Proposal, announcing negotiations commencing for the 2025-26 school year. MTA goals include updates to benefits and compensation, class sizes, school calendar, bereavement days, and definitions of personal leave, and more. Superintendent of Secondary Education Amy Woods gave an update on cell phone policy, with MUSD rolling out new prohibitive measures starting after spring break in what the district is calling a, quote, soft start, to a more established rollout in the new school year. Moving forward, starting on April 7th, MUSD students will be expected to turn their cells off and leave them in their bags during instructional hours. By the 2025-26 school year, MUSD will begin utilizing Yonder pouches, which are magnetic lock pouches each student will keep their phone in, to be kept with the teacher for the duration of the class. MUSD is calling this new policy, quote, disconnect to reconnect, citing various safety and mental health issues with students and cell phones, including anxiety, depression, sleep deprivation, and other factors that compromise their attention spans and overall growth within school culture. Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Education, Dr. Graciela Gutierrez, gave a recap on the Literacy is Life event, held at 29 Palms Freedom Plaza on March 2nd, alongside MUSD elementary literacy coaches Katie Fleischman and Melissa Stacy, who spoke of the event during public comment.
When we first envisioned this event, our goal was to celebrate literacy in all its forms. Not just reading and writing, but the way literacy connects us, empowers us, and opens doors to new possibilities. And on March 2nd, we saw that vision come to life in the most incredible way. Freedom Plaza was filled with excitement, families exploring literacy activities together, students showcasing their creativity, and community members coming together in support of lifelong learning. It was truly a celebration of what makes literacy so vital to our lives.
MUSD's next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 8th. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Gabriel Hart.
The Bighorn Desert View Water Agency held their monthly meeting last night. Annalise Kuiper was there and has details from last night's meeting.
The board voted to adopt the resolution authorizing an amendment to the range and step scale in the employee handbook. A change order was approved to the Pipeline Improvements and Consolidation Project for a professional service agreement with California Rural Water Association for $386,425 to provide additional engineering design services. The board accepted completion of work and authorized filing notice of completion on the Goat Mountain replacement well. An initiation procedure was approved to implement a cost of living adjustment, COLA, to the Board of Directors per diem, effective no sooner than July 1st, 2025. Staff will be directed to initiate the process for increasing compensation by 5% for fiscal year 2025-26. The board has chosen Saturday, May 17th from 9 to noon for the annual board workshop. Staff will be directed to schedule this event. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
The Yucca Valley Airport District Board of Directors meets tonight to discuss asphalt repair requirements, weed abatement, and an application for Measure Y funding from the town of Yucca Valley. The board will also receive a treasurer's report. The meeting is open to the public and begins at 6:30 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. The Copper Mountain Community College District Board of Trustees meets in regular session tomorrow afternoon to consider a new policy related to immigration enforcement. They will also consider sabbatical requests and human resource issues. The board meets in open session tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the campus's Bell Center Community Room, located at 6162 Rotary Way in Joshua Tree. And finally, registration is open for the Town of Yucca Valley Lifeguard Certification course. Offered by the Recreation Department, the course will provide entry-level lifeguard participants with the knowledge and skills to prevent, recognize, and respond to aquatic emergencies. To enroll in the lifeguarding course, you must be at least 15 years old before the last scheduled class session. The course fee is $220 and includes the American Red Cross registration fee, lifeguarding manual, adult CPR mask, whistle, pack, and instruction. There will be 2 sessions, both held at Yucca Valley High School. The first session begins March 24th. The second begins April 26th. You can register for the course at yucca-valley.org or in person at the Yucca Valley Community Center. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.